Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to the channel. This is Psycho here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different as I'm going to be going through my boxed NES and NES collection. It's not a whole ton, so the video is not going to be too long, but I love collecting boxed games from that era, so I feel like it's a fun little trip down memory lane for me, and hopefully you guys too. Now, a little bit of backstory is I used to have a pretty big boxed NES collection. I mean, not crazy big. It was about 115 to 120 at least boxed NES titles, and I had some really good ones in there. I also had a couple of boxed N64 and SNES. The N64 one that I remember is Superman 64. Hot garbage, I know, but still nice to have complete. And a couple of the SNES games that I remember having were Mega Man X and ActRaiser, which, man, I'd love to have my hands on those again. And tons of good old boxed NES games. I had both variants of The Legend of Zelda, both variants of the Zelda 2, both variants of Metroid, the yellow box and the original gray one. But my most prized possession out of the original Nintendo collection that I had was probably Die Hard. I had that complete with everything and in really good shape. At the time, it wasn't worth what it is now, but last time I checked, which was not that long ago, I believe it was north of $400. So bummed that I don't have that anymore. But hey, that's why we collect, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get that back in the collection. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun to go through these. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, you kind of already know about collecting NES and Super Nintendo games. The carts are always cheaper. So if there's anything here that you haven't played and you're interested in playing, like, I'm sure you can find it cheaper for, you know, just a few dollars as opposed to the 100 or so that most of these are. So with that being said, I'm going to show you the one that got it all started. Oh, that was the other thing, was like, when I got back into collecting, I was having a conversation with my friend Justin about the Switch. I wasn't really collecting. I mean, I was buying games for the Xbox and the PS4 and the Switch, but that conversation just got me back into it. But I wanted to go hard for the Switch, which I do still pick up Switch stuff here and there if I can find it for a good price. But from going hard for the Switch to finding other stuff, and then these box games, and then consoles and everything just kind of snowballed, and now I'm just back into it all the way again. So now I'm back to collecting for everything. I do still like to grab Switch stuff, though, when I can find it for a decent price. And the first box game that I got when I got heavy back into collecting everything, as you know, everything video game wise, was Prince of Persia. I picked this up from Half Price Books. My intent was to not try to get boxed NES games because it is ridiculously expensive unless you're just getting lower end ones. But, you know, I figured it's fun. I'll never have a complete set, but it's fun to try, and especially if you can get like a high dollar one for a pretty good price. That's fun too. I don't have anything too crazy expensive in my collection, but a lot of these are north of $100. But anyway, yes, Prince of Persia was the very first one that I got for the box NES, and it's in great shape. It still has a cellophane on it, but it's not sealed. It was cut at the top, and the guy just opened the flap, but left the cellophane on it. But I've never actually played this. I hear it's kind of good, so glad to have it. I didn't pay a whole ton for it. I don't remember what it was now. Like I said, this was probably 6-7 months ago. But yeah, guys, Prince of Persia for the NES is what kicked off my hunting for boxed NES/SNES, to a lesser extent N64. If I can find good prices on those, or if it's something that I'm nostalgic for, I might grab it. But I am not as nostalgic for N64 stuff as I am for the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo. I have a couple of black box games, starting with Excitebike. This is a great game. Too bad you can't save your created tracks. This one is not in a protective case. I ran out, and this was kind of beat up already anyway, so I just left it as is. But yeah, guys, Excitebike. If you know, you know. This is an absolute classic. Excitebike. I also have Pro Wrestling, which some would consider to be probably the best wrestling game on the NES. I folded these boxes a little weird, so the plastic boxes do tend to come open a little bit. But it is what it is. I don't stack them. I put them to the side anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, Pro Wrestling, fantastic game. I remember Starman being my favorite character to use in this game, but they were all pretty cool. This was a fun arcade-style wrestling game. Still holds up to this day. Fun game. There's another black box one that I have here. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. The last black box game that I have, which black box, for those that don't know, are the original launch titles for the NES. They all had black boxes, and then they started putting different box art and colors on them. But the last of my original black box games is Kung Fu. This is another classic I remember playing over and over as a kid. This may be the third game I've ever played for the NES. The first being Super Mario Brothers, obviously, but that is not the first game I ever saw or seen, whatever, for the NES. The first game I ever seen was The Legend of Zelda, and I was hooked. Tried Mario, loved it, and then my friend also had this, and we played this. Now, this is only 5 levels, but this is an absolute classic, guys. Kung Fu. I love this title. And this is another one I picked up from Half Price Books. Didn't pay a ton for it. I don't know anything about it. I've never played this game, but it was in nice shape and complete. It is a copy of Dungeon Magic from Taito. If you guys know anything about this game, leave a comment. Let me know if it's worth trying out. Should I throw it in? Should I give it a chance? It kind of looks like an RPG, so I'm guessing that's what it is. Oh, there's a subtitle, Sword of the Elements. Dungeon Magic Sword of the Elements for the NES. Glad to have it in the collection. And it's in good shape, too. Up next is another game I don't know about. I also got this at Half Price Books. I don't remember what I paid for it, maybe $40 or $50. It's also in good shape and complete. I hear this game is kind of good, so maybe I should give it a chance, but it is Nightshade for the NES, obviously. And it's made by Ultra, as you can see down there. Ultra was a subsidiary of Konami. Basically, it was Konami, but they had to come up with a different company name because Nintendo only allowed a certain number of releases from each publisher each year. And Konami had a bunch. So they made Ultra so that they can put out more titles per year. And my favorite one from Ultra being Metal Gear. Metal Gear was an Ultra game. But yeah, I hear this is pretty cool, and your reputation comes into play in this game too. So maybe one day I'll give it a try. But Nightshade. NES. Good stuff. Next one is a game I got from Carlos, and it is a Capcom title. I've never actually played this game, but I hear it's quite good. Was never really a fan of the cartoon, but it is a Disney game, and it is Tailspin. It is complete. Box has a little bit of wear, as you can see. I'm not hating it, though. This is a cool game to have. Maybe one day I'll try it. I don't know much about it. It looks like a nice cartoony, side-scrolling. I see him flying in the plane or whatever. I've seen gameplay before, but I have never managed to play this game. But I'm happy to have it in the collection. Tailspin. Capcom always put out some fire stuff on the NES too. Next one is another absolute classic. This is a puzzle game, the successor to Tetris. Yes, it is Tetris 2. It is complete in box. This is not a super expensive game. I've never actually played this. I played the first one a ton, but my friend had it and I grabbed it from him because I didn't already have it. But yeah, Tetris 2, guys, for the NES. I like the box art even. I love the box art for all of these, honestly. I love NES box art. Video game box art in general, even newer stuff has some good stuff sometimes. But yeah, I love the exploding tetrads. That's pretty cool. Tetris 2, NES. This is the newest one that I got just the other day from Carlos. Hopefully the next time I see him, which will probably be this weekend, I will have more boxed NES stuff. We'll see what happens. But this is the newest one he just brought me last week, and I had this in the original collection, and it is another absolute classic puzzle game. I don't feel like I even have to explain Dr. Mario to anybody. This game is an absolute banger. I love the box art on this one too. It's awesome. But yeah, guys, I don't have to explain Dr. Mario to you. It's a match 3, get rid of the viruses with the pills. Absolute classic. Here is another first-party Nintendo game. Now, for this game, I have the PAL box, but it's the North American Kart. It's just how it came, and I picked it up anyway because it was still boxed. Now, if I have another Kart that is available, so I'm not gonna. If I move it, that's fine. If I don't, and I ever come across a North American box, then I'll throw that in there too, and I'll have them both complete. But it is Kirby's Adventure. This game is amazing. I have played it. I don't believe I ever finished it. But this is a first-party Nintendo title, too. You can kind of see, man, those plastic boxes, I folded them a little messed up. I was kind of in a hurry. But Kirby's Adventure, man, this is a great game. Great game. Kirby has always tended to be a little on the easier side, but that's okay. My daughter loved the Star Allies on the Switch. I bet if I threw the Nintendo on and put this in, she would play this, too. Yeah, it's a great game. I would play it. Kirby's Adventure. Next one is another Konami title. I don't believe I've ever had any of the ones in this franchise complete in box. This is the first one I have. I've never played this one either, but I hear it's really good. I played the first one a ton, and the first one is Contra, obviously. So the sequel, the follow-up, is obviously Super C. This is complete in box. I love the artwork on the front. I've never tried this one. I need to throw it in because I'm sure it's fire, and I'm really glad to have this in the collection in complete. Super C box has a little bit of wear. None of these are like perfect. I mean, a lot of them are in really good condition, but not all of them are perfect. You know, there might be a blemish here or there, but that doesn't really matter to me. It's more nostalgia for me than anything, so I'm happy to have it anyway. Super C, Konami title. This one is a complete in box, a little pricey. I think the last time I checked it was like between $140 and $160 complete. But I'm happy to have this in the collection. Obviously, I didn't pay that much. But this game is super hard. The Turbo Tunnel, I mentioned it when I actually showed this game the first time. And if you're an old Nintendo fan, you know what that means. And the 2-player co-op was a mess because you could inflict damage on your co-op partner. But a classic nonetheless, and a nice, fun beat-em-up if you have the patience to get through the whole game. And that is Battletoads. I am really excited to have Battletoads in my complete NES, or complete in-box NES collection. This one does have everything in there. And, yeah, you cannot go wrong with Battletoads, guys. I love this game, regardless of how hard it is. And I love that box art. Battletoads. This one is one that I played as a kid and never finished, but it is a quite fun action RPG. There was a sequel to it, which I've never tried, and I think that they should bring this franchise back in modern day. I think it would be really, really fun. I'm not sure how they would work it, or I'm not even sure if they didn't because the sequel wasn't good, because like I said, I never played it, but the first one was really fun, and that is Star Tropics. This game was really fun. This is complete. It's missing the letter from your uncle that you could, I think, put water on or whatever to reveal the secret message. This does not have that. The one I had in the original collection did, so, I mean, whatever. I found it again, so I picked it up, even though it is missing some stuff to make it complete, but a fun game to have in the collection nonetheless. This one was a deal on Marketplace. Can't believe I even found a complete in-box NES game just floating around on Marketplace, but sometimes it does happen. It's a franchise I love. I've played the first 2 extensively. I even played 4 and then Neon, which the games are super hard. I've never played this one, but I'm happy to have it in the collection. And that is Double Dragon 3: The Sacred Stones. Again, like I said, I've never played this one, but I do love beat-em-ups. So maybe one day I will throw this in and play Double Dragon 3. It's probably really amazing, guys. But yeah, happy to have found this on Marketplace. Happy to have paid the price that I did. I don't remember what it was now, but it wasn't anything too crazy. It was doable. But yeah, happy to have this in the collection, Double Dragon 3. And we're down to 2 boxed NES games left, and they're 2 absolute bangers. This was another game I never finished as a kid. When they re-released it on the 360 a number of years back, I did. Man, yeah, there it is. I went to the wrong side. That's bothering me. Something on my shirt right there. I don't know what it is, but whatever. For all you other OCD people, it's probably bothering you too. There. Anyway, I never finished this as a kid. I finished it on the 360 when they re-released it, but I'm happy to have it back in the collection. This is another one I had in the first collection, and I thought, oh man, I'll never have it again. But I do. And that is a copy of Bionic Commando. I don't know why I love this game. You can't jump in it. But just the bionic arm, just the action. I don't know what it is about this game, but I absolutely love Bionic Commando. And I'm super happy to have this one back in the collection. And the final one, and this is complete with maps and everything, is a game that I have played many installments of in the franchise. Even this one to a tiny extent. I've never finished it. It's a massive game. And this one is also north of $100. I don't remember what it is, like $140 or whatever. But it is a complete, with maps, everything, like I said, complete in-box copy of the original Final Fantasy. I love having this. I also have this in the original collection too. So I'm getting stuff that I had back again. Happy to have this. The original Final Fantasy on the NES. This is a game that I would absolutely love. There's a little bit of damage up here, but I don't care, honestly. This is another one that I kind of want to play and get through, but I don't know that I ever will. But I am stoked to have it in the collection. The original Final Fantasy, guys. And that's all the NES stuff. I have NES, now we're going to move on to the SNES stuff. Some of these are sports titles, but I got them for free when I bought other games from the person. So, honestly, I'm not really hating that. One of them I actually paid for because it was one of the ones that I asked for her to include in the deal. But there were 4 others that were not included in the deal. Her husband, for some reason, brought them to the deal anyway, and then ended up just giving them to me because they didn't know what to do with them. And I was like, well, I don't mean to not want them, but I don't. And looking back, I probably should have just took them anyway, and I did because they gave them to me for free. But just the fact that they were super clean, in really good shape, and completely complete, if that makes sense. They had everything, subscription cards, and everything was in pristine condition because they had just like locked it away and hadn't touched it in years. But lost my train of thought for a second. There was other 2 games I got from this lady, or other 3, I think, and I'll let you know when I get to those, but I'm going to skip around here. But the boxed sports titles that she gave me just for free was a copy of Ripken Juniors Baseball. These ones are in really, really good shape. I've never actually played this game. I played Super Bases Loaded on the Super NES, and I played that extensively. I've never owned this one, and I've never tried it, but who knows, maybe one day. But yeah, guys, it's in amazing condition. I ran out of box protectors also, so I left the sports titles out of them. But I do need to get some for these even because they are in really, really nice shape. Ripken Juniors. I keep calling it Ripken. Ripken Juniors Baseball for the SNES. This was another one that was free, and it is in amazing condition. So eventually I will put it in a box protector. But it is a copy of Nicklaus Golf. I don't know much about this guy. Apparently he's a famous golfer. I do remember this floating around when I was a kid. Again, this was one of the titles that the lady just gave me because they said they were going to just end up throwing them away. Man, even for sports titles, that would have been heartbreaking. I would have not liked that. So I took it. And yes, now I have a copy of Nicklaus Golf. Never played it. I played a few golf titles on the regular NES. I think NES Open Tournament Golf or whatever it was with Mario. And a few others. Just the regular golf game, too. I don't hate golf games. I just never play them. Who knows, maybe Nicklaus is good. This was another one that another one of the free ones. It's in really good shape. This is another one. This game was probably worth like $2, even complete in box, because it's just everywhere. But it's cool. I like the box art, and to have it complete in the shape that it's in is still cool, even though literally I believe this game is probably less than $5 complete. But it is a copy of NCAA Basketball. I think this game is like $1 loose. So I don't know. It's probably less than $10 complete. But still cool to have in the collection anyway. I've never actually played this game. It's weird how there's not even a crowd. But that's alright. Love the box art. And yeah, I'm okay with having it in the collection. NCAA Basketball. And then this was the other sports title I passed on, which was the only other one that I thought, oh, maybe I should have grabbed that one too. But I didn't. But it's alright because I ended up getting them all anyway. But it is a complete and an amazing shape copy of Tecmo Super Bowl. This one does have a box protector because I just had one left. So I threw this one in there. But I'm not hating that I have this. And it is an amazing shape, guys. And who's that on the cover? I'm not even sure who that is on the cover. I was going to say Troy Aikman, but I think it's whoever was before him. So I'm not sure. And I hate not knowing that because I am a huge football fan. But I don't remember Troy Aikman's number being 10 for some reason. If it was, I'm a dummy. But I'm not even the greatest of Cowboys fans either. I'm not really a big Cowboys fan. Anyone who's ever spotted this on the channel knows that I am a Tampa. I can't even put my arm the right way. I mean, I guess I could, but I'd have to maneuver around. But anyone who knows me knows that I am a Tampa Bay fan through and through. But yeah, anyway, a little sidetrack there. Happy to have Tecmo Super Bowl complete in box and in great shape on the SNES. And this was the sports title that I actually got bundled with it. It was the one that I asked for because it is an absolute classic and I've played it a million times on many consoles. And it never gets old, even still today. Never gets old, and it's in fantastic shape, and it is complete. And it is a copy of NBA Jam. This is an absolute banger. It's not tournament edition, but that's okay. This is the original. I love the artwork. I love this game. I love all the passwords. I love the control. I love literally every single thing about this game. You cannot go wrong with a couple of rounds of NBA Jam. I believe I also have this complete on the Genesis too, but to have it for the Super Nintendo also is awesome, and it is in amazing condition, so I do love that. Okay, the next couple of games, I'm going to show this. It's not in a box protector because it's a little bit bigger than the normal case. This was another thing I got from Carlos, and it is complete, and I'm happy to have this because it was a cool peripheral. I had it when I was a kid. I did not have it in the other collection, but grateful to have it, and it might make me start collecting Game Boy games. But it is a Super Game Boy. I remember having this when it was new, along with Donkey Kong. I forget what it was. I think it was just Donkey Kong 94. Donkey Kong versus Mario. I don't remember, but it was the one that came out right alongside this that they were pushing. It slips my mind. Oh, it was just Donkey Kong, because it even says it on the back here. New Donkey Kong. That was the game. But yeah, and that's cool. Look on the box art. It's like Metroid, I believe Metroid 2. It's got a little sticker here, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm happy to have this. I thought the Super Game Boy was a brilliant idea. And actually, when I finally had this, it opened me up to a lot of Game Boy games because I didn't have a Game Boy. Even still to this day, I have a few handhelds, but I'm not a handheld gamer by any stretch. Even the Switch, when I'm playing the Switch, it's always on the TV. So, it is what it is. But I'm happy to have the Super Game Boy in the collection. Now, these two games are the other two games that I got from that lady, along with the sports titles. The deal was a super set. She was selling a complete in-box super set for $100. And then she didn't post any of the games, but when I asked if she had games, I was thinking, well, since the console is in the box, maybe the games are too. And they all were. And so I picked my three favorite, which was the NBA Jam and the next two I'm about to show. And she charged $10 a game. So, man, hell of a deal. I'll never find anything like that again. These next two are absolute classic first-party Nintendo titles, and they're in amazing condition. And yes, they are in box protectors. But the first one is a game that I play to completion. I beat every single race Rainbow Road, everything. And yes, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is a complete inbox, damn near mint copy of Super Mario Kart. I had this in the first collection also, and I ended up selling it or whatever, and I was bummed because I'm like, man, that's going to be really hard to find. And I'm not saying it wasn't, I just got lucky and the lady had it. But I am super happy to have this back in the collection. Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, where it all began. And I love that box art. I don't have to say any more, guys. You already know what this is. So, super stoked to have that. And then the other one that I had complete in box that was also damn near in mint condition. And remember, guys, I said $10. This was $10. $10. So the next one is probably my favorite one. Super Mario Kart and this one were like, okay, no, I need those two also. And I was so nervous that she would, like, for whatever reason, not want to do the deal anymore or whatever. But she did, and I got the stuff. But I'm so stoked to have this. I played all of these games as a kid, even on this version, over and over and over and over. And I love them. Hold up to this day. I love all of them. And it is a copy of Super Mario All-Stars with Mario 1 through 3 and Super Mario The Lost Levels, which was Japanese exclusive. What can be said about Mario games besides they are awesome? I love the box art. This is in amazing condition. I am super glad that the lady had these games, and I can't even believe that I got a hold of them, honestly. But I'm stoked to have them. I love them. I love me some first party, complete in box, amazing condition Super Nintendo games. This one is just box and cart. I need the manual and probably the little cardboard tray I'd like to put in here too to complete it. I probably won't ever find all the registration cards for it, but if I just have the little tray and the manual, I'll be okay with it. It is arguably my favorite game of all time. I've mentioned it a lot of times on this channel, and I'm happy to have it with at least the box. And that is a copy of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I love this game. I could make a video for a couple of hours just talking about all my favorite things in this game. I won't do that, but if you have never played A Link to the Past, I mean, even a ROM or emulator, whatever you guys are using, like, definitely check this out if you have never. It is an absolute classic, and again, like I said, this is probably my favorite game of all time. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I'm stoked to have it. I actually have another loose copy of this game too, so I'm gonna probably flip or trade that one. But yeah, this one's not leaving. Originally, I bought this box and cart, like I said, what's here, from a friend. I can't remember his name now. He's since moved away. But I for some reason, his name slips my mind. He was a gaming buddy. I mean, not like a close friend or anything, but I've done plenty of deals with him before. So it's not like, oh, I can't remember my friend's name. I did some deals with him, and his name slips my mind. But he charged me only $50 for that. Now, I don't know, probably at the time that was a good deal, but this game is going for like, a few months ago it was over 200, but I think it's dropped since then. But I know it's like probably, I'd say like 160 or 170. Don't quote me, I don't remember. But this is definitely north of $100. This one was pieced together. I bought, if you remember the videos, if you watch the videos, if you remember a while back, I had gotten a hold of a couple of Nintendo boxes for $10 that had the manuals and stuff with them. They weren't in the greatest of shape, but for $10 I took them, and that's how I upgraded my Donkey Kong Kart. If you remember, I had this game, The Illusion of Gaia. It was everything in there but the game. Well, I've since acquired the game from Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. So now I have a complete in-box copy of Illusion of Gaia. I had this game as a kid also. I never finished it, but I remember really enjoying this game. So maybe I should go back and give this another spin too. But yeah, Illusion of Gaia, guys. That's a pretty good one, I think. I don't think this one is $100. I think it's maybe in the 80 range, in the 80s somewhere. But nonetheless, I'm glad I got to put that copy together. I think Carlos charged me $20 for the cart. And then, like I said, the box was a part of a 4-box deal that I paid $10 for. So we'll go ahead and say like $2.50 I paid for the box. So $22.50 for a complete in-box copy of Illusion of Gaia. I'm not hating that at all. Next one is a game I remember, I think, renting. I don't believe I own this. I may have, but I do remember playing it as a kid. This is missing the manual. If I have them come across the manual, I'll throw it in there. But complete, I just looked this up today. It was going for $127, but I don't have the manual. I just have the cart in the box. But it is one of my favorite wrestling games for the Super Nintendo, and it is not a licensed game. It's a Capcom game, and they killed it on this one. It really was a lot of fun. It is Saturday Night Slam Masters. You don't see this around too often, and Carlos ended up with a copy of it, and I for sure wanted it. Like I said, I love this game growing up. Mike Hagar from Final Fight, which is probably my favorite side-scrolling beat-em-up of all time. I know, Streets of Rage, love that one too, but Final Fight, I love that game. But he's in this game too. And this is another one, like, yeah, you see the Marios and stuff like that, the Zeldas, but I mean, and they're expensive, but you find them. But this one's kind of uncommon, so I was happy to come across it. I'm glad Carlos got it. I spotted that and I was like, man, I got to grab that. Saturday Night Slam Masters. If you guys have not tried this, like, yeah, WWF Raw was good, and then there was other licensed games that were good for the Super Nintendo, but Slam Masters was fantastic. It was a great game. And then the last three, before we're done here, are all the same franchise. And when I found these, I found them like this. And I even had a double of one of them, but I have since traded it in a deal that I did for some N64 carts plus that game for the Nintendo Power Lot that I talked about a few videos back. It's probably a while ago now, but I have all three of these complete in box, and I'm happy to. It's a good franchise. I played the first one extensively, 100% of the first one, and never played 2 or 3. But I hear those ones are pretty good too. And that franchise is Donkey Kong Country. Super happy to have all three of these complete in box. Like I said, a fun franchise. Like, if you're collecting Super Nintendo, well, I'm collecting Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo, and it's like a relief to have all three of these knocked off right away. Boom, boom, boom. All three Donkey Kong Countries. Here's 2. There's the Diddy's Conquest, Donkey Kong Country 2. Yeah, absolute classic franchise, everybody. It's great. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. I believe this is the most valuable one. I'm happy to have it. I got all three of those from Carlos. Well, the other box one I don't think I got from Carlos. I forgot where I got that one, honestly. But I ended up having 2 box copies. Oh, the other Donkey Kong Country box was in that deal for those boxes that I got the Illusion of Gaia. As a matter of fact, I think I still have another Donkey Kong Country 2 box over there, but it is in kind of rough shape. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that. If I can throw Donkey Kong Country 2 in that box, I'm sure somebody would probably take it. I don't know, trade or sell. But happy to have all 3 Donkey Kong Country games complete in box. And like I said, guys, that's it. I mean, I have more coming all the time. I have big titles lined up soon. So you guys want to stick around if you are into the complete in box or just boxed video game stuff. This has been Psycho. I just did a pickups video. Go back and check that out. Do music videos. Today's shirt is the used from when I went and seen them a few months ago with Coheed and Cambria. Today's hat is Candlebox. More music stuff coming up. Like as I said in the last video, we're going to do a review of Meet Me at the Altar. Spoiler: it is an amazing record. Maybe the new-ish Born of Osiris. I might do that one too because it's a great album. But if you guys like what you see or you like the music stuff, please consider hitting the bell notification so that you know when I am posting new stuff. Also, please consider subscribing. Every subscribe helps, and it only takes a second. You just hit the button. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like what you see. Leave a comment. Talk to me, guys. What do you like? Tell me what's in your box game collection because that's fun. I'm always watching YouTube videos of people showing off their box NES or any old system collection. I just love this stuff. I don't understand why, but I really do. But thanks for all the support, guys. Let's get the channel up to 100 subs so that I can potentially do a giveaway. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I have some fun stuff coming. I might also do a giveaway in the next pickups video because my series, if you don't know, it's called In the Wild. That's where I show all the stuff that I get video game wise. And it's called that obviously because that's what people call it when they find stuff. They find it in the wild, unless you're at a game store, and then it's still kind of in the wild. But anyway, 20 episodes, and I started at number 7 when I started them back up. So that's cool. If you click on my channel and scroll all the way past all the videos that my daughter ended up jacking my channel, but if you scroll all the way back, you can go all the way back to In the Wild episode 1, which I think I just called like my retro game collection or something. It wasn't called In the Wild until episode 2. But there is some cool stuff, and that's from my first collection. I don't have any of that stuff anymore, but I found myself watching it the other day because I was nostalgic for the stuff that I used to have. But yeah, guys, there's some good stuff there. I used to have Final Fantasy 3 complete in box. I had Evo complete in box, and all of those are on that old channel, but you have to dig all the way to the back. But yeah, thanks for the support, and I really appreciate all the people who do leave comments and sub and just leave positive feedback and even just view my stuff. Even if it's a thumbs down, I'm okay with that. I just wish you guys would tell me why. That's all. But anyway, guys, thanks again, and I will see you again soon with something music related or video game related. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next. But anyway, I will see you guys there. Psycho out.